Hello and welcome to round 4 of the PowerMaxed Mini Challenge. This weekend coming from Oulton Park's Mini Festival. There's loads of racing to come, and what's more, the sun is shining upon us, just adding to the beauty of this track, which remains a firm favourite amongst competitors and spectators alike. Now, before we get started with the qualifying, the Mini Festival seemed like the perfect place to unveil something new and rather exciting.
This is the third generation of the new Mini, and frankly it's the best iteration so far. It's got a 2-litre engine, improved body shell, lighter, stronger, better looks, everything really going for it. Put a lot of effort into making the car fit in with the Mini brand, and really everything about the car is designed to be as good as it can be at a sensible budget. You know, we don't want to build something that's very expensive because that makes it inaccessible to people.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk through the car a little bit more specifically. You've mentioned the key differences. I have to point first of all down here, the front of the grille. This looks rather spectacular.
Absolutely, bespoke front end, one-piece bumper for quick changes if needs be. The grilles themselves are designed to protect the what's behind more than the old cars did. So yeah, it's a big improvement just in terms of the aesthetics. A good splitter on the front to improve the downforce and improve front end grip.
That was actually a key thing because some photos went online, obviously, of this little taster ones, and a lot of people were commenting on that, saying, "Oh, can I get one for my Mini?" Not sure how practical that would be.
No, I think it might be running a little bit low, and actually is completely designed for the race car, so it won't be available on the road. But nevertheless, it does look good.
So, back to the engine then. Tell us a bit more about this engine, because that's one of the key improvements.
Well, absolutely. On the Gen 2 car, it was a 1.6 turbo, not absolutely BMW technology. This is a brand new, completely BMW engine, 2-litre turbo, delivering 275 horsepower. So it really is a very powerful engine.
Can we have a look?
Well, absolutely.
Go on then.
Frankly, it fills the engine bay completely.
Wow.
And you know, really, it is an incredible bit of technology, this, and working on it has been a pleasure. We could get so much more power if we wanted to, but 275 is a sensible number. It's a step up from the current car, but without being too much of a step. There's still some changes to happen with the car, particularly in relation to some of the induction system, but the intercooler and radiator from Forge, full Motorsports specification. There's no road equipment going into that at all.
Absolutely lovely. Now, the gearbox, that's another thing that's very different, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it's a sequential gearbox. Comes from a British company, Quaife Engineering. They are really a specialist in that field. It's a beautiful piece of engineering. Actually, at the moment, we can't even show it to you. It's that top secret. But it is sitting there in the car, but fortunately, it's still very much under wraps.
Okay. And anything else aesthetically that you can tell us about her?
Well, the styling is really designed to replicate a touring car, and it is very much a mini touring car, and the performance of it we're expecting to be nudging in that direction too. And to help with that, we've got a Motorsport ECU to maximise reliability, minimise the amount of electrical glitches that we might get. So it's an incredible piece of equipment.
Well, it's obviously her first unveiling here at the Mini Festival in Oulton Park. We're not going to see her in 2014 though, are we?
Certainly not racing in 2014, but it'll definitely be running. We've already had it running on an airfield, and we'll be looking to get it on circuit within the next 3 to 4 weeks probably. And then once we're happy that everything's ironed out, we'll be inviting all of the current challenge drivers to try out the car.
Fantastic. So 2015, we will be welcoming her into the championship.
100%. The cars are already bought, ready and waiting to be built, and we'll be doing that over the next few months.
Exciting news indeed, and what a fabulous car. However, let's turn our attention back to the 2014 championship, and more specifically what's happening right here at Oulton Park, where it is time for qualifying.
Well, being mid-July, of course, torrential rain was forecast, but at least as the car headed out for qualifying, those worries were somewhat calmed, with gorgeous sunshine beating down on the immaculately prepared cars as they lined up in the pit lane at the start of the session. Hamish Brandon fully focused on the task ahead. As the track went green, the cars filed down the pit lane and out onto the electrifying challenge at the Oulton Park International Circuit. Of course, the opening stage of the session given over to warming up tyres, of which there were varying strategies, and for those drivers making their early steps into motorsport, opportunity to really learn the Oulton Park International Circuit. Shane Stoney, there were no such concerns. He was looking to continue his fine season state. Likewise, championship leader Luke Cordell. It's Chris Knox, though, who looked to get the power down early, and he set the early benchmark time. But Knox, looking to preserve tyres, wasn't sure how many flying laps he'd be able to put in. Right in car with Knox, you can see just how committed he was through Druids, and a lovely shot there into the rear view mirror. You could see the total focus in Knox's eyes, while other drivers were into the pits. Fettling Grace Williams. It's a Kerr turn alongside Mark Wakefield to practice on the slipstream effects, becoming very useful for the races a little bit later on in the day. So it was Knox who set the early benchmark time, and then it was up to the others to try and chase it down. Jo Polly Goldin, at least in her efforts, had the advantage of splendid isolation, no traffic surrounding her, perfect conditions with which to set a good lap time. Luke Cordell pushing hard, but he could never get higher up than 5th on the timing sheets and eventually line up on the inside of row 3 for the first of the races. But as ever in the Power Max Mini Challenge, it was an incredibly tightly bunched session, both in the JCW cars and the Cooper class, where the big news was that Shane Stoney was not topping the times. So Chris Knox, his quick lap done, headed into the pits to wait out the session, which would have potentially done enough to snatch pole. The Cooper class, it was William Phillips who was at the top of the times, to the surprise of many, as Knox agonisingly watched the clock ticking down to 0. So as Knox was stationary, the action on track continued. Cordell was pounding in the flying laps, it just wasn't quite enough. Luke, a driver who always flies in the races, nonetheless will be pleased to be lining up at the sharp end of the field. Instead, pole position went the way of Neil Newstead by the slenderest of margins. Just 1,000th of a second was his advantage over Chris Russell, with Chris Knox shuffled down to 3rd, but still only 1,500ths of a second off pole. So Newstead it was then for JCW pole from Russell and Knox. Henry Dupree an excellent 4th from Cordell. William Phillips usurping Shane Stoney at the top of the Cooper class with Josh Gollin, and Ricky Page completing row 2. So into Parc Fermé, scrutineering checks a welcome to the Mini Challenge for ex-British Touring Car Championship racer Chris James, William Phillips and Neil Newstead debrief qualifying.
P1 across the line, first time I've seen that being in a Mini, and yeah, no, very happy with that. I had a chat with Luke and Chris Knox actually just when we was in the holding area, and they haven't got many tyres, so they only done like 3 or 4 laps literally to look after their tyres. So to me, I think that's bad management. We've been looking after our tyres throughout the season, been listening to Bill Solis, my coach, and yeah, we carried 2 new tyres over from Snetterton, so we're sitting here with 2 new tyres, so we've got 4 new tyres we can carry over. So yeah, very confident. They thought they was going to get it back in the rest of the races because nobody had the tyres, but that isn't the case. We've got 4 tyres. I'm going in even more confident than I was this morning. So
what an amazing qualifier.
Yeah, I have to admit it's definitely one of my best parts of the season so far. I didn't expect to get pole, to be honest, but I was quick in testing, so to take what I've learned from testing and put it into qualifying, I'm really pleased. I had a massive off on lap 2 down at Cascades, which was a bit of a bummer. It's quite bumpy out there, let's say. But no, yeah, I just got my head down after that and just relaxed, and the lap came to me, hit every corner perfect, and the lap time just came, so really pleased.
Luke, after recent victories, obviously the pressure's really on you this weekend.
Yeah, it is, but we were ready for it, but not a great start to the weekend. We had a sensible come up in qualifying, and couldn't manage to get it cleared, so only managed to get 5th in the end.
What is your plan of action? Because there's 3 races in one day. It's a really packed day. How are you sort of planning? What's your strategy?
We're really looking forward to it. It's the first time we've done 3 races in a day. It's all about getting the car home in the first 2 races, damage-free hopefully. Coming from 5th on the grid, that could prove difficult, but we should be fine.
Qualifying's out of the way, but it's a packed schedule of racing in the Power Maxed Mini Challenge from Oulton Park. We have 3 races, all to come after the break.